Greetings to all of you. The title of our project is Color Coding of Metadiscourse Features via ATLAS.ti to combat misinterpretation in COVID-19 news. The reason why we are analyzing on COVID-19 news is due to the fact that COVID-19 is still prevalent in Malaysia, especially during this endemic era. And we are focusing more on this pandemic health in order to reduce transmission of COVID-19 among the public and also readers to be aware of this via meta-discourse features. So I'm going to now discuss with regarding this textual meta-discourse. There are two categories in this slide. So it comes to announcements, they are to refer forward to future sections in the text. We have sequences, which are to sequence the thoughts and ideas in the text for the journalist. Following that, we have another two categories of textual meta-discourse. We have logical markers, which are to connect the ideas clearly in the text. And we have code glosses, which are to provide added information to help the text, help ease the text when it comes to understanding of jargon words or technical terms. Following that, we have topicalizers, which are to indicate a topic shift that explains a new topic clearly. And we have illocutionary markers, which are to indicate the action of the journalist in the text. Following that, we have the last one, which is called reminders, which are to remind the readers of the previous section that they read. This concludes the textual meta-discourse part.
All right. Now I will be covering the interpersonal meta-discourse. So interpersonal meta-discourse is normally used by authors to inject themselves and to lend authority to the text. So the first type of interpersonal meta-discourse would be attributors, where the author states the source of their information. And after that, in blue, we have hedges, which would indicate that the author is unsure of the ideas, but these are possible interpretations. So following that, we have two more, which will be attitude markers. Attitude markers allow the author to inject themselves into the text, expressing their feelings and emotions. And after that, we have commentaries, where the author tries to build rapport with the readers, normally to indicate some sort of movement or to generate a feeling of working together. All right. And lastly, we have the last one, which will be certainty markers. Now, certainty markers are used by the author to let the reader understand that they are very certain of these facts and to share a very strong opinion. So since COVID-19 news is vital to be understood, the use of meta-discourse features would facilitate the reading of COVID-19 news and ease the understanding of this type of news in the era of globalization and mass media.
So I'm going to highlight the innovations that we created. So when it comes to News 2, this is where the textual meta-discourse was color-coded via the ATLAS.ti software. All right, you can see the color for News 2. This is for textual meta-discourse. And this is where the writer's involvement or the identity will be emphasized. Following that, this is where News 4 was also created. And this is where the interpersonal meta-discourse was highlighted or color-coded via the ATLAS.ti. Okay, so this is for interpersonal meta-discourse, which emphasize on readers' involvement. So following this innovation was actually funded by UTRF, which is called Universiti Tunku Abdul Rahman Research Fund. We received numerous awards. Firstly, overall best presentation, and this was actually the certificate that we received for ICOA Conference 2022. The next award that we actually obtained was the Silver Award in INIC Series 2 to 2022 competition. Okay, and lastly, we did not receive an award, but we got actually shortlisted in the top 40 of this art science prize. Okay, and that was actually the certificate that we obtained. Thank you very much.